Here are some hints for the 3.1 lesson quiz. Remember yesterday I said use your notes to help answer the questions below. For question 1, which of the following does a rigid motion preserve? Remember when I handed the quiz out yesterday, preserve means keeps things the same. So in your definitions for rigid motion, it should tell you that nothing changes as far as size or shape. So that means side lengths only wouldn't be enough. Angle measures only also wouldn't be enough. But side lengths and angle measures are both true. But neither would not be true. That would mean the size would change. So that should help you answer question 1. For question 2, I had to zoom out a little bit. It says suppose the equation of line S is y equals x. So if you remember yesterday, y equals x was the line we got in example 5 of our notes. That meant it went through 0, 0, and the slope was up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. You should have a line like this drawn on your paper. So draw in that reflecting line, y equals x. That means we have to take triangle ABC and flip it over that reflecting line. Now the rule for reflecting over y equals x took each xy coordinate and we flip-flopped it. Remember that was the flip-flop rule. So my hint for you on this picture is take the pre-image, point A, point B, and point C, and determine their ordered pairs. For example, A looks like it's at -1, 1. Do the same things for B and C. Then as you apply the reflection rule, A prime is going to go to +1, -1. I switch the x and the y around. So I'm going to go over +1, -1, and that's actually where point B was for the pre-image. So that's my hint to you. Finish this question by finding the pre-image ordered pairs for B and C, and then create B prime and C prime and connect them. And it should look like your triangle reflected over that purple line y equals x. Question 3. Suppose the equation of line T is y equals 2. So now that's not the x-axis or y-axis. This is going to be a counting activity. But if you go to the graph where y equals 2, that's actually on the y-axis, not the x-axis. And one thing we have to consider, all the places where y equals 2, this is going to be a horizontal line straight across from left to right. So that's our line T. And I guess I forgot to label our line S up above. So I guess I could throw that in right there. So that's our reflecting line. Again, to get A, B, and C, we're going to do the same thing that we did up above. We're going to write the pre-image, A, B, and C. A was at -1, 1, and you'll do B and C. Find those values. To reflect over the line y equals 2, all we do is count. So we're just going to count. Whoops, if I could spell it. There we go. All right, let's try that all over again. My pen wasn't connecting. I don't know why. We're just going to count over that line. For example, from A, it's only 1 unit away, so I'm going to count to the other side, and there's where A prime would go. And that ordered pair for A prime is -1, 3. Now B and C are further away, so they're going to reflect higher up over line T. Make sure to connect those and then find your B prime and C prime and connect that triangle. Feel free to pause the video and complete those 2 questions before we look at this last example. When you're ready, press play. After a reflection, the image vertices are A prime, B prime, and C prime. First thing we want to do is graph that image. It says then find the line of reflection. So there's 2 sets of directions here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to graph A prime, B prime, and C prime. A prime is at 5, 1, B prime is at 3, -1, and C prime is at 7, -1. So for A prime, I'm going to count over to 5, up 1. Oh, I'm going to run out of space here, so I'm going to slide this over. Hang tight. There we go. I'll put A prime up here. And then B prime is at 3, -1, so not too far away. And C prime, oof, that's kind of a long ways away. That's at 7, so I have to go 2 spots past and then down here to C prime. So we want to connect A to B over to C prime and then back up to A prime. So that's that first part. Just graph that image, okay? Then it says, find the line of reflection. So where's the middle? And we actually did this in our notes in that example 5 again. If we want to try to find where the middle is for this reflection, it's pretty easy to see between B and B prime. It's in the middle right here. Whoops, kind of right there. There we go. Between A and A prime, they're 6 squares apart, so that'll be right in the middle. And then between C and C prime, it's the same point as it was for B and B prime. So if I connect those two dots with a collinear line, or the line that goes through them because they're collinear, we have to figure out what is that line of reflection. What would that be? Well, since it's up and down, it's going to be the x coordinate because it's vertical, like it was in our notes for one of our examples. And notice it crosses the x-axis at 2. So our reflection line doesn't have to be y equals mx plus b because it's straight up and down. This would just be x equals 2. That is the reflecting line. I hope this video helped you complete the 3.1 lesson quiz.